Mike is hot, and so is. I'm so glad we had this time together. Pop, pop. Good evening and welcome. Oh, I got ads. Oh, I got a thumbs up too. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night with Unc. What's going on? Oh, I knew something was missing. All right, I got to turn this off. Trying to do 9 things at one time. Tonight, we're just having random conversation, not talking about anything in particular, nothing specific, just whatever comes along. Now, I do want to talk about something that I saw yesterday. Okay, I'm trying to do 2 things at once. Thank you for sharing me out. Um, oh shoot! Oh my goodness! I can't. I got a brain fart. He's gonna kill me. He always shares me out. Always, Sir Jacob. That I had a brain fart. I'm sorry, bruh. Okay, something's not right. Okay, maybe I fixed it. Yeah, but yeah, got 3 thumbs up and one person watching, which is me. I'm watching myself. I'll be damn. Wonder how I do that. Watching me. Well, in the meantime, in between time, let's see. There was tornado in Kentucky. Let's see. Whoa, that's not good. Oh, it's not just Kentucky. Let's see. Over 70 feared dead as 22 reported tornadoes ripped through South and Midwest. Wow. So it wasn't just Kentucky. I mean, 22 of them? Man, this weather is. Thank you for sharing me out, Aunt Maddie. This weather is crazy. And they said there's no such thing as climate change or whatever. Some people think that climate change is just, the change in the weather. Like, I don't know what they think, but yeah. A devastating tornado outbreak in western Kentucky has killed at least 50 people. Wow. I don't know, folks. It's kind of rough. I really feel for them. These tornadoes and the weather is really changing. Like here today, it's December 11th, and at some point today, I think the temperature got up to 70 degrees. Usually here in the DMV, the weather in December is like 40s and 30s. And this didn't just start. I mean, it's been happening for a while, and I think you really don't pay it any attention. You're like, oh, you just know that it's a nice day, and you're like, hey, this is cool. But I remember growing up. I mean, around this time, it'd be cold. I mean, cold, cold, and you're like, mm. But things happen. Wow, they had one in Edwardsville, Illinois, which is where one of the Amazon distribution warehouses is. It was an F3. Winds at its peak, at least 155 miles an hour. That's some wind at 155 miles an hour. Wow. Yeah, that'll blow the roof off it. Anything. And if your toupee or your wig ain't nailed, well, shoot, you'd have to have it probably sewn into your scalp to keep it from blowing off. Yeah, but I probably shouldn't be making light of the situation because it's really nothing to make light of. But well, Southern Belle, how are you? Thank you for coming through. How are you doing? And how is the weather in Missouri? They got tornadoes hitting everywhere, and it's something. So how about Missouri? Y'all got any bad weather there? Because here we've got wind and rain. But like I said, it's like 60 degrees, and that's crazy. In the middle, it's getting toward the middle of December. Getting closer to the holiday season, and it's like that's really odd and crazy. It's but what can you do? Depending on where you live. Down in the south, it doesn't really get that cold. And out on the west coast, it really doesn't get well. Depending on if you're in northern California going up, yeah, the winters, the weather is like it usually is here. Like in the wintertime, it's not as cold, but it's cold. There 60 degrees is cold in Northern California. Now, Southern California, whew, you get the beach all day. I remember when my son was out there, he was living in LA and he'd be on the beach. Yes, we had a tornado touchdown here last night, but it wasn't close to where I live. Well, that's good. Glad to hear that. Yeah, but my son, he was out in LA and he would call. We'd be talking. I'd be like, "Well, what you doing?" He'd say, "Dad, I'm out on the beach." On the beach, and I would look outside, and it, you know, be looking like snow, and it'd be, I mean, cold. And I'm like, man. He called and be laughing, and I'm like, it's really not funny. We're here frigid, and you just out on the beach. And I'm like, man, but like Northern California, because I was in the Bay Area. I most certainly did, Belle. How about you? Yeah, we had a really good Thanksgiving. The food was good. Auntie, she fussed, and up until Thanksgiving, she kept saying, I'm not cooking. Everybody's gonna cook and blah 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 blah. Well, and then it got to she said, well, I'm not cooking at all. We're gonna go to so and so's house, and I'm like, all right, cool. Then the closer it got, she said, okay, I'm gonna cook, but I'm not gonna cook a lot because we're only having like, we're gonna go somewhere and then we'll have food when we come back home. And then the plan changed again, and until it got to the plan that we had. Auntie cooked, and she cooked enough for an army, and it wasn't an army that showed up, but you know we had quite a few people that came over, and the food didn't go to waste, and of course it was good. Auntie was like, I'm not doing this next year. Sure, Aunt Eddie, you say the same thing every year. I'm telling you, I'm not doing it again. Okay. Like Christmas is coming, I'm not buying anybody anything. I'm not going to be buying a whole lot of gifts and all this and all that. Now she's trying to figure out how to get everybody a gift. Like, I understand, but my thing is she said, we got grandkids. Well, the grandkids got parents. That's why they're our grandkids, because they obviously have parents that we raised, and so now it's their turn. I think we should get something like we should grandparents should buy fill-in gifts. like socks and underwear, or maybe like toys. Well, see, our grandkids are older now, but you get them toys. See, grandparents should always buy the kids toys. And I don't mean just like little toys. I mean toys that make noise. Yes, I'm blessed to see another one. I'm looking forward to Christmas. One of my nephews will be visiting from Maryland. Oh, that's cool. Hey, I always wait till the last minute. Well, hey, that's how it happens sometimes. But for me, I really think that grandparents should buy, if we buy the grandkids stuff, it should be noisy toys, and make sure that they're toys that that they can take home, make all the noise, like drums and tambourines and horns and anything that makes noise. I think that's what grandparents should buy, you know, for their grandkids, so they can take that stuff home. Matter of fact, don't even open it when you come over here. Take it home. Open the drawers, the underwear, and the socks and stuff. But all the other stuff, nah, don't open it here. Take it home, open it, because if you open it here, your parents will probably want you to keep it, want it to stay here, and then that's not going to happen, because it's not like they're going to be coming back and forth over here. But like I said, our grandkids are older now, so I think that you should just give them money and let that be that. That keeps the stress out of it. We have one, two, three, four, five, six grandkids. Four are teenagers. One will be double digits, as she says, at the end of this month. And then we have the newborn, Jonah, who I call Roscoe. I don't know why I call him Roscoe, but I just call him Roscoe. He's like 4 months, I think, 3 months, 3 months. And so, yeah, but you don't have to worry about buying him anything. He won't remember. But that's just me being the Scrooge, maybe. But I don't think so, because he won't know. So you give the other ones money and let that be that. That way, there's no stress and trying to run out to the store and you know be amongst the masses. Because I remember when I was younger, and I used to go Christmas shopping, and I had to buy stuff for my parents. Because I was a teenager, and it was just, oh my goodness. Yeah, the thought of Christmas shopping, and even when the kids were growing up, we go out, and I just didn't like. I was like you, Bill. I'd wait to the last minute, and I've always, that's how you shop. That was the way I got into the Christmas season. Was to be out there with all the crazy people trying the last minute stuff. But now I'm, tussling with elderly people. But now I'm elderly people, so I can't be, out there. You know, I mean, I'm not elderly, but I'm too old to be out there with that foolishness. That's for sure. So, but yeah. So, like I said, it's just random conversation tonight. If something you want to talk about, we can talk about it. Although there was a gentleman in Florida. Now, I didn't know that you could own a flamethrower. There are states in just about every state except for Maryland, and I believe it's California, where you can't own a flamethrower. I don't even know why somebody would want to have a flamethrower. First off, why are you why do you need a flamethrower? Eh, I don't know, but I guess because you can buy it, and I think that they're not really expensive. I think the guy got his for like $90 or something like that. And what happened was they've always been this dispute about a parking space, and some kids were in a car and they wouldn't move the car, and so he went and got the flamethrower and it was, shooting a flamethrower at the kids. And he wasn't. They said he wasn't, shooting it directly at the car, but just enough to scare them. And I'm like, that's just crazy because, you know, that could have went south real fast. But that's Florida for you. That's there's always something crazy happening in Florida. I don't know if it's the air or if it's the water or if it's, I don't know what it is about Florida that brings out the crazy, but, he's walking around with this flamethrower and I don't know. His wife said that, when he shoots it, it looks like it lights up the sky, makes it look daytime. Hey, hey, Anime. Hi, hon. How are you? How's the little one? And how's Charles and Esco? Hope everything is well. Hope everyone is doing well. Y'all got an anniversary coming up. Ain't that is so sweet. So happy for y'all. Yeah, but I'm talking about them crazy people in Florida. The guy with the yes, the flamethrower. And I mean, like, you hear people talking about a drink. I think there's a drink called a flamethrower. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making up something. But he has an actual real live flamethrower. And he went to they arrested him and he had 3 counts of something. And it was like his bail was $45,000. Each count was $15,000. So he was released on bail, and that's crazy. So I guess next year, I mean, wow. I'm still stuck at the fact that it's legal. I mean, it's actually legal to have a flamethrower. Ooh. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Anna. Exactly. That is exactly what it is. But the crazy thing is, Anna, this guy was black. That was the crazy part. And I don't mean to be, you know, or try to sound racist or anything, but I when I was reading the article, I really thought that it was a Caucasian guy because it just sounds like crazy Caucasian stories in Florida. Maybe, had my blinders on and, I was, just thinking one way. But I saw the dude's picture. And actually, when I saw the picture, I thought it was like a picture for something else until I, realized that the picture was part of the article and that was the guy. And I'm like, man, what are you doing with it? Why does anybody need a flamethrower? I mean, what are you lighting? How much? How big is your blunt that you got that you need a flamethrower? I mean, it's crazy because I'm trying to figure out how can you what kind of conversation are you having? You know, hey, let's go out. You live in the country and you want to take the rifle out or you have a gun, whatever, and you want to go out in the backwoods and practice shooting the guns. Yeah, yeah, he has to know that he's black, Anna, because he's black. Yeah, he has to know. There's no way he couldn't know. He can't look in the mirror and not say, you know, you know, I don't identify as black, bruh. Mm-mm. That ain't gonna work. But you go out in the back and you shoot the rifle. You line up the cans and or the bottles or whatever it is, and you shoot. You practice shooting. Cool, but you can't do that with a flamethrower. So where do you practice with the flamethrower? I mean, just where? Some black folk love to say, "Nah, I got in it." Nah, no, he. I don't care what he say. He got in him. He shouldn't be. I don't understand why anybody, black, white, Puerto Rican, Indian, Asian. I mean, anybody. I don't understand why any civilian would need a flamethrower. And I mean, if you have one and it's like, a souvenir, or how people collect stuff, a collector's item, I should say, and that's cool. You put it in a case, and you show it off when people come by, and you're like, look, I got this. It was from World War II, and blah 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 blah. But no, it's inoperable, and obviously it's operable because the wife said he pulls it out from time to time. And he was actually trying to scare the kids, and he scared me, and I wasn't even there. That's crazy. I don't care what nobody say. I'm getting me one of them 3D printed guns. Oh goodness. I remember seeing it a long time ago. I thought that was just a fad, but I guess they still making them. And because I know they were trying to have some sort of legislation or something so that they couldn't make them, which that's stupid because people are gonna figure out a way to get whatever it is they want to get. If they want a gun, they're gonna get it. If they want to print one out, they're gonna, whatever. People have ways of getting what they want, or making it happen. So you can have all the legislation that you want and all the rules, but there's always a way. You know, People are going to always do illegal stuff, or find a way to beat the system. Hey, what's going on, cuz? How you doing? Thank you for coming through. Yeah, we're just having random conversations. Right now, I'm talking about this crazy man in Florida, um, with the flamethrower. Yeah, the flamethrower. Usually you're talking about people with AR-15s and AK-47s and all that kind of stuff. Now, old boy has a working, functioning flamethrower, which is extremely dangerous. It's dangerous in the hands of professionals. It's got to be even worse when it's just some dude. You know, I don't know, but people buy anything, and if you can buy it, they figure they can have it. It's okay for me to have. Everything isn't for everybody. It just isn't. But it's the world we live in, folks. People just crazy for no reason. Well, I appreciate you coming through. People just, I don't know. I don't know. But what can you say? What can you do? Hmm. Let's see what we got about, as Dave Chappelle calls him, Juicy Smouye. Man, that dude, I don't know what he was thinking, or if he was thinking, why are you doing this? Why would you come up with this plan? And then, you go out and you do a dress rehearsal, so to speak. They got cameras everywhere. The cameras got cameras. I mean, it's crazy. Everybody has a camera, and they have these cameras set up all over especially in big cities. So now you're in Chicago, Vegas. Wow. One day Auntie and I are going to go to Vegas. I have to go to Vegas. I've never been to Vegas. I went the closest I got to Vegas was I was a little kid, and my mom and my dad we flew out to California to visit my mother's friend, and the closest I got was Reno. And my mother, they wanted to go in the casino, but kids aren't allowed in the casino. So I remember my mother going in, and I had to stand outside with my dad while she went in to the casino. But although my mother wasn't really a gambler, she just went in. I guess she just went in, with a girlfriend. They went in there for a little while, and I don't remember much else about that. I think I was maybe 10 or 11, maybe. The only thing I really remember is hanging out in California. We went to San Francisco, and that was about it. Yeah, but the flight, I remember the flight. You didn't like it? Why? What's wrong with why you didn't like it? Oh, yeah. Well, see, I'm neither am I. I mean, I'll dibble and dabble, but when I go, I'll just be going to sightsee and just see what I can see. I might, gamble a little bit, but for the most part, I'll be there to sightsee. Hey, Bree, what's happening? Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. Yeah, but like I said, I remember the flight because they had this orange cake. And, oh, that cake was so good. I still remember that because I remember I ate mine. Yeah, that's a good thing. And we got to win this week. We got to win tomorrow too. I remember eating mine. I ate my mother's and my dad's, and I think the people behind me let me have theirs. And then the flight attendant, I remember they brought me an extra piece. Yeah, that cake was good. I think that's one of the few things I remember about the flight. I remember them giving me some the little wings that the pilots wear, and what else? That was it. And I remember taking off and landing. Really, Bree? You ain't got nothing else to do. You really don't have anything else to do, Bree. That the best you got. You come in here and with this blasphemy, really. That's okay. That's all right. You know what? I may go live after the game tomorrow. So I want you to come in after the game tomorrow, and I want you to keep that same energy. So when it don't turn out like you said, I want you to have that same energy about them boys. Okay? Them boys. I want you to have that same energy when it don't turn out your way. Just keep that energy. That's what I want you to do. I want you to come in here, come in there, and I want you to talk about them boys. That's what I want you to do. So yeah. And make sure you say it with your chest. Okay? Them boys. Hope you feel the same way tomorrow. I'm gonna go live just cause. Right after the game is over, I'm going live so we can talk about it. I don't want to hear no excuse, but I had to work or all that other stuff now. I want you to come in here with talk about them boys. That's what I want you to do. hmm I bet I won't hear nothing from none of them because I got a whole list of them they on my Facebook timeline, and when they win, oh, they just be talking more smack than enough. But when they lose, you can't find them. Now all of a sudden yeah, well, this happened and that happened, and yeah, well, what about y'all? Nah, this ain't what we talking about. That ain't what we talking about. We talking about them boys. So you keep that same energy when you come in here tomorrow, and let's see how that work out for you. hmm But getting back to Mr. Juicy Smollett, that was crazy. You got cameras everywhere, and you out there just all willy nilly. in Chicago in the wintertime, sub-zero degree weather. And you out there talking about people with MAGA hats and bleach and ropes and calling you out your name and all this old kind of foolishness. One, it was just too cold for that. It was just really too cold, and it just didn't make sense. But that was his story. He stuck to it, and the crazy part is that he actually got on the stand and told that story, bruh. But I guess he had to stick with it. He had to go all in. He couldn't change. He couldn't. He had gotten to reached the point of no return, where there's no change in the story, although there were changes in the story along the way. But you got to admire that part, that he stuck with the story. He stuck with the lie. He wrote it out. But and they say that he probably won't do any jail time because that's his first offense. That's a hell of a thing to have on your record, though. And so, but he's going to be fined. He's probably got to pay some court costs, and I think the city is suing him because they want him to pay back for all the man hours, and that's going to be a lot of money. And being as though he's really not working right now, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know, bruh. Looks like he need to be on YouTube, getting him a channel over there on what's that other thing? Bigo. He need to be there. He need to be on TikTok. He need to be somewhere. He gonna have to come up with some coins, serious money. All because, like I was listening to somebody, they're like, that's sort of like narcissistic, because he's not relevant. I mean, that was the best thing you could come up with to be relevant. That's like the people with the viral videos. You trying to come up with something that's going to make you. I mean, I don't understand what he thought he could get from doing that. A book, a movie, make a movie out of it. I mean, what? What was it? I mean, did you want to be relevant that bad that you came up with that, or was it drug induced? He did say that he was, you know, had a drug problem, but I think he was saying it was like weed. Hell, man, what kind of weed are you smoking to make you do stuff like that? Yeah, talk about old Juicy Smollett, as Dave Chappelle calls him. What was his end game is what I want to know. Even if people had believed it, you know, if people had believed it, he could have gotten away with it. What was the end game? Just to get notoriety? I don't know. I don't get it, but I guess it's not for me to get. But it's it's almost funny. Yeah, of course he threw his boy under the bus. He was gonna throw everybody under the bus because he had to do something. But why he got on the stand is far beyond me. Unless at some point he's going to say, well, you know, I I I, I had bad counsel. Uh, but if your counsel recommends that you don't go on the stand, and they say, hey, don't go on the stand, I don't think you should do that. It's not a good idea. And then you turn around and say, nah, because they have to listen to what you say. They work for you. So they say, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. But of course, if he's a narcissist, then his rationale is, I'm the smartest one in the room. I'm the genius, not you. I'm paying you to be a genius because you know. But now I'm gonna get on this stand and I'm gonna convince these people that I am not guilty. That this is what they saw is not what they saw. I don't care what you saw on the cameras. I don't care what the phone records say. I don't care what this other guy saying. He's lying. He's mad because he wants to be my partner, and I won't let him. I gave him a little bit now. You know, yeah, he ain't that young. He's stupid, crazy. No, he's stupid. Yeah, he ain't past crazy. That's stupid. And he was even stupider to get on the stand. But like I said, he had to. He had to ride it all the way out. He was in it to win it, even though he lost a long time ago. He'd have been better off saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm sorry. I, I shouldn't have done it. Uh, I'll take a plea deal." Because, like I said, he probably won't. He won't go to jail. But what was he? Because even if he was found not guilty, what was the end game? What are you going to get out of it? I mean, you that pressed for notoriety, dude. If you are actually a narcissist and it's gotten that bad, you need help. You really need help. But you first have to admit that there's a problem. And if you never say there's a problem, in his world, there's no problem. And he's probably still persisting that he's innocent. The jury got it wrong. Everybody got it wrong except him. Now, my question is, the people that he surrounds himself with, what are they saying? Is somebody going to say, look, bruh, you need to let it go. You know what happened. Everybody know what happened. You need to just let it go. Let it ride. Just be done with it. Let's go get some help and, we'll move on from there. But, you know, until he hits rock bottom, and everybody's got their own rock bottom. You know, your rock bottom may not be his rock bottom. It's obviously he must hadn't gotten to that point yet. But somebody you need to tell him something. I always say that you should always have somebody in your circle that will call you by your government name and tell you exactly what it is you need to hear, not what you want to hear, because you got a whole lot of people that, as long as the money's coming in, they'll tell you whatever. They usually won't give you sound advice, because anything that's going to stop the money train, and they're going to ride it until it's dry. And then they're going to move on to the next one. And then you sitting there broke and looking just as dumb, trying to figure stuff out. Uh, you know, that's one hell of an ego. I'm just grateful that I ain't, that ain't me. I am so grateful. I mean, that's got to be, it's. But the thing is, they believe it so much. They say it so much and they believe it that to them it's real. It's true. It's all about me. The world revolves around me. And then when something doesn't go their way, now they're the victim. They screw up everything and they move on to the next thing. And they leave all this foolishness in their wake. And they leave the people sitting there trying to figure themselves out. First thing the narcissist says is, look what you did, or look what you made me do. I don't know, y'all. It's the world we live in, I guess. But my heart goes out to the people in all those states and cities affected by the tornadoes, because it's going to be a rough one for them. It's going to be a real rough one. I'm trying to stay away from these politics, but it's kind of crazy. Yeah, this world is going to hell in a handbasket. Yeah, it really is. People are just crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. I mean, just off the wall. But I stay in my lane, mind my business. Because that's about all I can do. What in the world? Brooke Shields. I remember when she was all the rage when we was growing up. But to me, her only claim to fame was, what was that movie? Dang, what movie was that? Anybody know? The movie with Brooke Shields. I guess I'll look it up. As my son says, look it up. Brooke Shields. Let's see. Now I'm really doing random convo now, y'all. Endless Love. That's what it was. Dang, why I didn't know that they had a song. Because I was thinking First Love. Right? Yeah. I remember going to see that movie too, Endless Love. I kind of think it was good. I don't remember. Yeah, it came out in 81. That's the year I graduated from high school. Mm. I don't know. But they say it was pretty good. But that's all it ended. She was in that and Blue Lagoon. Oh, yeah. I think she was famous for hanging out with Michael Jackson. Yeah, a lot of people was famous for hanging out with Michael. Mike was the man, the king of pop. Yeah. He's gone. Prince is gone. Luther. But their music lives on. It works for me. People still talking about what Mike did or didn't do. I don't know why it even matters anymore. He is dead and gone, and whatever happened went with him. But people actually get mad and get all bent out of shape when you say, and on either side of the coin, it's like he was a child molester and blah, 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 blah. And the other was like, well, no, he wasn't. But okay. But whether he was or whether he wasn't is a moot point now. But people are still arguing about it. But I guess people need something to argue about. It just because it's the thing to do. But I don't know. I don't have the energy for it. I mean, a healthy debate, that's one thing, but a full blown argument, y'all people crazy. Arguing over something that really has nothing to do with you, that will not change your life one way or the other. You know, my thing is I enjoy his music, whatever he did in his personal life. Then they'll say, well, what about R. Kelly? I didn't stop him from playing the music. I mean, I'll listen to a song if it come on, but and like on the radio station that I am on now, they they don't play it. Well, none of the radio stations do. For whatever reason, he did what he did. Of course, say he didn't do what he did, but hey, to each his own, folks. I'm just enjoying life one day at a time. I got about 10 more minutes. Well, no, actually, I have 13 and some change because I was late. I don't like being late. My dad used to tell me all the time, like, what he say? Early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. You always want to get there a few minutes early. I would see people coming in and they get there. If you had to be there at 8 o'clock, they get there at 8 o'clock. Now they have to hang up their, like, we got a coat, you got to hang your coat up. Then they got to go get their coffee or use the bathroom. Now, this is all after you clock in. Now, if you get away with it, cool. But you can't get mad at the boss, say, hey, I'm not paying you for this time. Now you got an attitude. Because you're supposed to be to work. You're supposed to be working at 8 o'clock. You're not supposed to be getting coffee and snacks, and that ain't break time. So get there a little early. You get to work 15 minutes early, give you a chance to, get your desk set up, get your coffee if you need it, or your soda, or whatever it is, your little breakfast snack, whatever the case may be. You get all that stuff before you hit punch in on the clock. Yeah. I say that now, but I was one of them folks. I get there at 8. I would get there sometimes. I have to be to work at 8 o'clock. I would get to work at 10 after 8, late to work, and still go use the bathroom or go get a soda or whatever, whatever, whatever. So I say those things now. That's just like I was talking to my son, and we were talking about teachers, and how they're right. And when I was in school, I don't know what this teacher talk about. Oh, they saying I'm not doing this and not doing that, and blah 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 blah. But then when my kids got in school, my whole story changed about teachers. Your teachers are absolutely right, and you should, all of that kind of stuff. You know, it's crazy how we do. But that's live. Let's see. Tomorrow is the big game. The Washington football team against them boys. And I sure hope Bree come in here tomorrow. I told you, like I said, I'm going to go live after the game just cause. And I want all them people that was talking about them boys, I want them to come see me. Now, if it don't go my way, I'll still go live. I'll keep that same energy. I'm probably lying, but don't. I probably won't go live if we lose. I'll be honest. I probably won't. I probably should though, since I said something. Hey, yeah, since I done opened my mouth, I guess I should go live after the game. You know what? I ain't scared. I ain't scared of none of them. See what they got to say, because you can't find them when they lose. It's like all of a sudden it be like a ghost town. My timeline, I can't. I have to go hunt for them. They don't say nothing there. But if they win, all you see up and down the timeline. How about them boys? We them boys. Y'all ain't ish. Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely. I love the debate, and I'm a football fan. Yes, indeed. Burgundy and gold for life. I don't care what the name is. Just don't change the colors. That's yeah. Just do not change the colors. Whatever you do, you got to keep them colors the same. Yeah, I've been doing this debate since I was. Let's see. I don't remember when I first got into liking football. As far as watching it, I remember when they went to the Super Bowl back in '72. Because I remember we had this big TV. You know, y'all know the big console TVs, not the big screen TVs that they got now. Those were the big screens of that day, with the big old console TV with the record player on the, and you lift it up and the record players on the inside and all that. Yeah, one of them. My parents had one of them big old TVs. And I remember sitting in the living room and watching that Super Bowl against the Dolphins and crying like a baby when we lost. Now I don't have no idea why I was crying, why I was so emotionally invested in this. I was crying like now that I think about it, like I had lost some money. That's one thing I won't do. I won't bet on them. Yeah, 'cause like I said, I ain't really the gambling type, and I won't bet unless I know I'm gonna win. And since there's no guarantees, unless I know something about something that somebody done set something up. Because like I should have known like when LeBron won the championship, I should have bet that Cleveland was going to win, even when they was down 3-1. I should have known they were going to pull some old mess. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about LeBron one day next week. And tell you just exactly how I feel about him and his little situation. And I'm sure all his little minions gonna come out and they're gonna be hollering about this and that and he the greatest and all. He ain't he ain't that. Is he a great player? Sure. I give him that. But now, being the greatest, the goat, dude barely a sheep. You talking about a darn goat. Yeah, people done lost their mind. They just run around and they don't, like my son say, they don't watch the game. They just watch the highlights. Because if they watch the game, they would see exactly what's going on. Yeah, he drives through the basket and don't nobody want to get in his way. Yeah, I get all that. But he don't play no defense. And then he get to whining because they touching him and he feel like he should be getting the calls. Bruh, you 6'8", 260. Suck it up. You better be glad you ain't playing in the time when the bad boys was out. They show you. Mm-mm. You saw the way they treated Jordan, but he just kept on playing and sucked it up. You'd have been over there crying because you just ain't mentally tough like that. If you whining there about fouls, shoot, it'd been like it was we used to play on the playground. It wasn't a foul if it did, unless it drew blood. Seemed like it wasn't no foul. You just think if he was playing and you could call your own fouls, he would probably call a foul on just about every play if somebody was near him. But okay, I'm not going. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. In case somebody go back and listen to this. Be talking about how he gonna be talking about LeBron, man. Then he want to play till he's 40 something because he wants to play with his son. Dude, y'all got a court in the house, I'm sure, in the backyard somewhere. Or just go down to the local gym, grab 8 other people, and there you go. There's your opportunity to play with your son. Because other than that, it really don't matter. It's crazy to me. But, that's just my opinion. But I'm just saying, I don't get it. I don't understand what all the hoopla is about this dude. YouTube gonna stop playing with me too. How they gonna have this thing limited? Really? Wow. They ain't like it's bad content. I ain't cuss. Oh, maybe because I'm talking about LeBron. He got a piece of YouTube too. I mean, I wasn't talking about nothing that was like, I talked about maybe because I talked about Juicy Smollett. I don't know. I wasn't talked about the tornadoes, but I ain't said nothing gory. They even put me on a limited thing for last night's live. I was talking about Kobe. I don't know. I don't get it. YouTube's getting funny, but I won't complain. Won't say nothing because they probably listening, and that's cool. I'm grateful for the opportunity that YouTube has provided. It is providing me. I greatly appreciate it. But I'm still going to talk about LeBron. I don't care. He is a glorified Robin, a sidekick. That's what he is. That's exactly what he is. So maybe I'll come on Wednesday because we'll talk about him Wednesday. Or maybe I'll do it sometime during the day on Monday. It has to be during the day because this nighttime thing, y'all, it ain't. They don't. His folks don't come out at night. I need to talk about him so they can hear exactly what I think, and they probably don't even care what I think about LeBron because they just like whatever. But anyway, folks, it's been real. It's been a very, very, very nice night. I got 4 people in here. There ain't nobody talking. Hey, that's cool too. That's all right. If you're listening, that's cool. Works for me. I appreciate it. Trust me when I tell you, I will not complain. I'll take what I can get. My job is to keep showing up. Eventually, folks will show up. They'll come in here and listen to this foolishness that I'll be talking about. But until then, I just keep on doing what I'm doing. And figured out how. Actually, it's good practice because for my radio station, my radio show, I'll be going live at some point, and you can't have dead air, and you got to be able to fill in. When there ain't no music playing, you got to be able to talk. So, yeah, this is really good practice so that I don't have dead air and I won't get in trouble, and the radio station won't get fired. Oh shoot, excuse me, won't get fined, and if they get fined, they may charge me. I don't know how that works, but I'm just going to enjoy the moment as it happens. But I will see you all Tuesday night. My guest will be Miss Tony Dupree. She is an author and an etiquette expert. And in case you don't know about etiquette, as she said, it's more than just what fork to use and setting up your plates and all that stuff. There's etiquette everywhere. Where you work, where you play, what you do. There's a certain way that you should do things. So we're going to talk about that. And I will see you all then. And until then, remember to be happy on purpose and know that I believe in you. Believe in you too. Good night, everybody.